If you thought Friday's loss to Florida was a bad one, well, I've got bad news for you. Saturday wasn't much better for South Carolina in a 3-0 loss to the Gators here at Conjuring Ballpark, as the Gamecocks have now dropped this weekend series to open SEC play after being shut out for the first 2 games against Florida, and that's now 23 straight innings without a run. And the last time South Carolina scored a run, you'd have to go back to Tuesday at the Citadel when the Gamecocks scored a run in the 5th inning out there in Charleston. So that was the last time South Carolina scored a run. And believe me, we're going to get to plenty about the offense from this game and why things haven't gone well. But we're going to do a little bit of roles reverse, because yesterday we really talked a lot about the hitting at the start. But I think the praise needs to go to the pitching, because for the second straight day, South Carolina got a really nice starting pitching performance, this time from Ant Phillips, who went 6 innings. He gave up 1 run, but it was not earned on his final line because Patrick Evans dropped a inning-ending potential fly ball out to right field. That would have ended the inning in the 4th inning, I should say. So that was an unearned run, but he struck out 3, walked 3, and gave up 5 hits over 98 pitches. And it looked like it was going to be a short day for Phillips after 47 pitches through 2 innings, but a lot of credit to him. He pitched really well in this game, and just like Josh Gunther did on Friday, Phillips gave South Carolina all it needed, just a chance to go out here and win this game. But for the second straight day, South Carolina's offense had nothing to show for it. I'm going to read off a few stats here to kind of just summarize just how poor this weekend has been from an offensive standpoint. I don't know if you guys are ready to hear this, but South Carolina is a combined 4 for 64. That's an .063 batting average with 26 strikeouts so far this weekend. They're also 0 for 23 with runners on base, 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position, and 0 for 19 with 2 outs. Now, as you can imagine, there were a lot of questions asked to Paul Mainieri after the game about why the offense struggled. And I even asked him, because he's talked about before his experiences being, coaching for 40+ years. He's had to have been through his share of slumps like this before from an offense. So basically the question I asked was there anything you could really draw back on as to how to get out of the slump? Because he talked a lot about the good pitching that they're facing with Florida, and the pitching's only going to get tougher as Arkansas is coming into town next weekend. You're going to have to face some really quality opponents this year: Texas, Mississippi State, the list goes on. And there was one quote that stood out, and it was, quote, "I don't know. You've just got to run the guys out there that you think can do the best job for you. Some days they'll hit, and some days they won't. But, it's 1 day, it's 2 days. We've just got to keep working hard and keep plugging away at it." And yeah, there was a lot of that. There were a lot of things said, but not necessarily answers as to why is the offense struggling and why after last season. Because the offense, there were times last year where South Carolina didn't have a good year last year. But I think there were moments in games, certainly, where the offense was not the problem, right? I mean, the offense overall as a whole ranked towards the bottom of the SEC last year. But it wasn't like it was always the offense's fault. I mean, pitching was a big problem, and now the pitching is pretty good for South Carolina, and the offense has really taken a nosedive this year. And yeah, just after tonight, it just doesn't really seem like there's a ton of answers other than I don't know, and just got to keep working through it. And that's not necessarily what you want to hear after 2 games when you haven't scored a run, but Mainieri is hopeful that South Carolina will be able to get some hits and score some runs, but that's easier said than done against this Florida team that really struggled last weekend against High Point, but has seemingly figured it out on all ends, even though they haven't gotten the most offensive production. So the Gamecocks will look to avoid the series sweep tomorrow afternoon, and TBA is currently on the mound for South Carolina. Mainieri was not ready to reveal who his starting pitcher will be yet. Him and Terry Rooney are going to talk about it here after the game, and we should know more on that heading into the morning tomorrow, as first pitch will be kind of an early one due to some weather in the area. First pitch will be at noon on SEC Network Plus here at Conjuring Ballpark. So once again, South Carolina shutout for the second straight day in a row, falling 3-0 to the Gators here on Saturday night in Gainesville. For GamecockCentral.com, I'm Jack Veltri.